Yes, you've read that right, an entire vlog about what we ate in Istanbul, Turkey. In this video, I'm going to take you through a culinary journey like no other, as we explore the vibrant and diverse flavours of Istanbul. In a world of aromatic spices, mouth-watering kebabs and the rich flavours of Turkish cuisine, from the bustling bazaars to the serene shores of the Bosphorus, Istanbul is a city that bridges continents and cultures, and its food reflects that extraordinary diversity. We'll be tasting the city's most iconic dishes, from grilled fish sandwiches to cheesy-filled baklava, and uncovering hidden gems. Whether you're a seasoned foodie or just looking to explore something new, this is a great way to uncover what the food scene is like in Istanbul. Before we dive in, remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and get ready to embark on a culinary voyage through the heart of Istanbul with me, Maya, and Danny. Our culinary adventure in Istanbul began as we boarded Turkish Airlines. Renowned for its exceptional in-flight dining, they served breakfast, which was a delightful menemen, which is a classic Turkish dish made with eggs, tomatoes, green peppers and spices. This dish embodies the essence of Turkish comfort food, reflecting the country's rich culinary heritage. Upon our arrival at the heart of Istanbul, Sultanahmet Square greeted us with the irresistible aroma of corn on the cob, a street food delight. This simple yet delicious treat smoothly introduced us into the vibrant street food culture of the city. Sultanahmet Square's corn on the cob is a beloved street food. Street vendors often season it with salt and pepper and spices, creating a delightful and affordable snack that tourists and locals can enjoy. Danny went for the boiled one and I enjoyed the grilled one, both perfectly seasoned and so tasty. For dinner we ventured to Fish Home at a Kapi restaurant where we ordered a delicious spread. We started with warm bread and a mix of hummus-style dips, showcasing also Turkey's obsession with bread, followed by a bowl of lentil soup, which has been a classic for centuries since it's known for its simplicity yet rich flavour, making it a staple dish in Turkey. The main course was a seafood extravaganza featuring prawn casserole and a seafood plate with a half-roasted potato in the middle. Istanbul's location along the Bosphorus waters has blessed it with a rich seafood culture, and we enjoyed tasting each variety of prawns and salmon. We weren't totally blown away by this restaurant specifically, but the area was really picturesque and we looked forward to trying more fresh local fish. Our meal here concluded with a cup of fragrant Turkish tea served in the traditional small glasses. It's an integral part of Turkish culture. Turkish tea is often enjoyed throughout the day and it's a symbol of hospitality in Turkey. And of course our first taste of baklava in Istanbul, layers of thin pastry, butter and crust pistachios, all soaked in a fragrant sugar syrup. A dessert that has a history dating back centuries, and for good reason. Later in the evening, we experienced the enchanting ambiance of Masala Cafe, where we enjoyed traditional shisha. We went for the apple flavour. You can get double apple flavour, which we thought was a bit intense. And then this was accompanied by amazing live music, and this performance called a whirling dervish dance, which is a kind of dance and ritual where they spin constantly in rhythm to the music, and then supposedly they fall into a trance and this is them becoming one with God. Here we delved into a larger portion of baklava, which tasted so fresh and still slightly hot. Nothing compares to shop-bought baklava, which is much drier, and here proceeded our obsession with baklava. And of course, on the way back home, we marvelled at the beauty of these rolled Turkish delights. Its origins trace back to the Ottoman Empire, all adorned with these rose petals and an exciting array of flavours, and we also get a glimpse of these giant baklava triangles. The next day, on our way to explore the city, we passed a really charming restaurant where this older Turkish woman was expertly rolling out fresh dough for a gözleme, Typically, this is filled with ingredients like spinach and cheese, and watching this woman hand roll the dough through the restaurant window was really nice. A dish we would actually later try on our third day here. We then experienced our first Turkish breakfast on the rooftop of my terrace cafe and restaurant. Turkish breakfast is a culinary experience like no other. Alongside menemen, which we had on the flight, we indulged in a stupendous array of cheeses, olives, tomatoes, breads, sweets like cherry, fresh honeycomb, a tahini paste, and then on top of all that, also a classic egg omelette. This spread represents the diversity and abundance of Turkish breakfast traditions. And paying 200 Turkish lira, which is equivalent to only €7, we were able to eat like kings. On our way to explore the Galata area, we stopped for iced coffees at Federal Galata, an Australian coffee house offering a respite from the hot sun, but also a unique blend of flavours. I went for an iced chai tea and Danny for a classic black iced coffee. They were splendid. On our way to the main shopping street of Istiklal, we find bakeries and more cakes and traditional Turkish shops with more Turkish delights and baklava. This bustling high street also hosts restaurant chains that serve fresh kebabs and other fast foods like baked potatoes, where we notice you can add so many toppings like fresh vegetables, cheeses, meats and fish. But we were adamant on eating lunch at a place called Durum Zaid. This was a place recommended by a travel YouTuber we watch called Lost LeBlanc, and this place has also been visited by the legendary Anthony Bourdain and is a testament to the enduring love for this street food. We went for 2 Durum classic shish kebabs cooked to perfection, soft but heavily flavoured in rich spices. Surprisingly light for what we've experienced eating kebab before. Later for dinner we come to a restaurant in Sultanahmet called Palladium Cafe and Restaurant, where they traditionally serve clay pot dishes cooked in brick ovens, which have a historical significance in Turkish cuisine. We went for a meze plate with dips and really soft, freshly baked bread, and also this boat-shaped bread dish called pide with melted cheddar cheese. This also bakes in the brick oven. But we did feel like it was slightly under-seasoned and wondered whether it would have been better to get the one with the mincemeat instead of just the cheese. We both went for lamb for our mains, and the sizzling oval dishes brought an authentic and rustic charm to the dining experience, keeping our food hot until the last bite. It was absolutely delicious and the meat was so flavourful. After dinner we moved to a rooftop bar called Safi Roof Lounge, part of a hotel and spa, to enjoy the views over the city and also eat more baklava, smoke shisha, and for the first time try the knafe, which is on the dessert menu, but it is actually a savoury dish, seeing as it is this shredded wheat with melted cheese inside, then topped with a sweet syrup. It's a dessert deeply rooted in Middle Eastern and Turkish culinary traditions. It was very rich for me, and I don't think we even finished it that evening. In the morning, a quick breakfast of buttery croissants, jams, Nutella, and coffees provided a great start to the day before venturing to the ferry port. After catching the ferry to the south side of Istanbul, in Besiktas, we find some really nice casual dining spots. A place called Kumbali Kabalti, which is a budget-friendly gem in Besiktas, offered us the opportunity to finally try that gözleme with the spinach and cheese. Turkish breakfast with its myriad of flavours continued to impress. This came at a fraction of the price as before in the more touristy area at only 65 lira, but the gözleme dough with the filling was amazing. A delicate grilled dough cut into these tiny squares, which works so well with the spinach to break up the melted cheese, and accompanied by the classic menemen dish again. We filled our stomachs for the morning, whilst a soothing rainfall actually started whilst we sat comfortably under the outside shelter of the restaurant. After breakfast, we stumbled upon a local bakery with a range of all fresh breads and had to buy a selection of these homemade small biscuits as they looked so cute. These crunchy snacks were an absolute steal at just €3. A mixture of nuts, chocolate, and these sugary biscuits we enjoyed paired with a Turkish tea as we waited back at the ferry station for our next ferry to Ortaköy. In Ortaköy, after visiting the Grand Medicia Mosque, we entered a food area just off the coast where there's this large area area with over 20 stalls all selling a make your own baked potato, and then you can choose various toppings with cheese, olives, tuna, fish, etc. All the stall owners were shouting at us to come and choose their stall, and we wondered how they even stand a chance at competing against each other when they're all serving the exact same thing. Next, we satisfied our baklava cravings at a dessert place called Baklavachi Deduglu and tried different variations. One that looked like a mini churro, one that also looks like a bright green roll made up of purely pistachio nuts. The varieties are unlimited here, and this all gets chased down with more hot Turkish tea. I did think during the trip that thank God I have a teeth cleaning coming up when we get home with all this tea that we've been drinking. Next, we would head back to the north area of Istanbul to a shopping mall called Historia, where we shopped for the items of our snack video that we also have on our channel. And whilst we were there was a very sweet man at the fresh food stall that wanted us to try some of his produce since he saw that we were filming. He offered us some pickles. They were so good, and actually I thought one of them was quite spicy, but Danny was unbothered as usual about spice. For tonight's dinner, after being all shopped out, we headed back towards the Istiklal shopping street, where we came to a finer dining restaurant called Pera and Takya. We also saw this from a fellow YouTuber recommended places to eat in Istanbul. This one was from On World Travel, and here we didn't hold back on food. We ordered a range of stuff from this large pita with minced beef, spices, garlic and parsley, which also came with a slice of lemon and was so good. We both got the marinated lamb chops from the grill as a main, and this was served on a bed of durum bread, a grilled green large pepper, tomato and mixed onion salad. We also ordered a side dish of tabbouleh, a staple favourite with us. This was an amazing meal, and I would 100% recommend this restaurant. The prices were a little bit higher due to the location and venue, but it was well worth it. And also don't worry, I've linked all the restaurants in the description below so you can make sure to find these places too. After dinner we headed back towards the high street so Danny could try the ice cream from those Trixie guys. He went for a chocolate and pistachio flavour, and after paying equivalent to €6, which was outrageously expensive, he did say it was pretty tasty, but maybe not worth it at that price. On our way back to our hotel, we again stopped for baklava, as everyone else seemed to be too. Nothing beats ending a day with that sweet, syrupy, nut-filled pastry that is still slightly hot from the oven. The next morning we were exploring both the Grand and Egyptian bazaars. There's a few eating places inside, but more desserts and tea and dry spices, which creates this amazing aroma inside the halls. We found the street that connected both bazaars to be full of really nice street food places. One soup kitchen that we thought looked really cool, kebab places of course, and fresh produce like cheeses. I remember as you walked through that street you could pick up on the smell of the spices, the coffee and the rich and intense aromas, which was just an amazing experience for your senses. Inside the Egyptian bazaar you find mostly stalls of spices. I think that one is actually also known as the Spice Bazaar, and this was a really beautiful experience. Also with such intense smells inside. At this point we were hungry for brunch, so we headed towards the Galata Bridge to find the famous balık ekmek fish sandwich. This beloved street food captures the essence of Istanbul's maritime culture and rich history. Balık ekmek translates to fish and bread, but it's so much more than that. It's a culinary symbol of Istanbul's connection to the sea. The sandwich typically consists of freshly grilled fish, often mackerel or sea bass, served in a crispy yet fluffy bread roll. The fish is seasoned to perfection, complemented by a medley of fresh vegetables and a squeeze of lemon. With the scent of sea in the air and the sound of seagulls overhead, we indulged in this simple yet satisfying sandwich at a place called Ahhir. You can stop by any restaurant on the Galata Bridge, but this one looked the most comfortable, and the balık ekmek is a testament to the city's ability to turn humble ingredients into a culinary masterpiece. As we journeyed through Istanbul's historic neighbourhood of Balat, we stumbled upon a unique and refreshing local drink, the Balat pickled vegetable drink. Danny had heard of this before and was really excited to try this because he loves kind of pickled vegetables and things like that. And this drink is made by infusing a variety of vegetables such as cucumbers, carrots and red peppers and beetroot in this brine solution seasoned then with garlic and various spices. The result is this savoury and slightly spicy drink that's super healthy, and we thought it was amazing. Within Balat, we also stopped for iced coffee at Balat Cafe with the rainbow umbrella display, and I tried to pet this white fluffy bunny rabbit, which was literally just roaming around the cafe and no one seemed to be bothered. On the evening of our last day in Istanbul, Danny had booked a boat cruise for us, which was a surprise for my birthday. When we got on the boat, we had freshly prepared meze platters on our table and supposedly had fish coming for the mains. I was in a state since the boat was rocking a lot in the wind, and if you've watched our Istanbul vlog part 2, you know that we got off and headed to a restaurant on ground for a classic yet beautiful lamb shish kebab. Succulent pieces of lamb or chicken are marinated in a blend of yogurt, olive oil and aromatic spices, then skewered and grilled to perfection. On the morning of our last day, we finished exploring the Hagia Sophia Mosque and we came to a casual restaurant called Serbatane that caught our eye on day one. Danny indulged in the meneme again, and I tried something new, which was this cheese pancake dish. This savoury dish is a popular Turkish street food that combines the simplicity of a pancake with the richness of cheese. It starts with a thin, fluffy pancake base, expertly cooked to perfection, then a generous amount of creamy and tangy Turkish white cheese, often feta or beyaz peynir, which we also tried in our snack video, is spread across the pancake. The result is this mouth-watering fusion of textures and flavours, where the warm, soft pancake contrasts beautifully with the salty, crumbly cheese. I actually needed help finishing mine off because it was quite rich and filling. Exploring the southern area of Karakoy for our last few hours, we pop in to see one of the best voted baklava places, which was a shame that we came to it at this point, considering now that the sight of baklava was causing our stomachs to turn. But here you can find a beautiful array of different styles of baklava, and amid aircon and beautiful interiors, I can see why this was a really popular place. We end our Istanbul food tour with the balik ekmek, but in a durum wrap. We didn't realise it came like this until we saw it at this really nice, quaint food store. And in the end, we thought that this wrap version outdid the sandwich one that we had on Galata Bridge. First of all, the place we visited, I've listed it in the description below. It had such a long name I won't be able to say it, but it's the one labelled Best Balik Ekmek Ever. It was run by a family and this little kid on the tills who wanted to chat to Danny all day about football and other things. But the ekmek wrap was seasoned so perfectly. There was these crunchy fresh onions surrounding the grilled mackerel. Then it had pomegranate fruit bursting as you bite into it. It also had thinly sliced carrot with cucumber and fresh lettuce. With each bite you experienced this crispy, flaky fish and the softness of the wrap, which was all encompassed and grilled to seal everything in. To be honest, this was probably the nicest thing I've eaten on the entire holiday, and definitely a place to check out in Karakoy, considering there was also plenty of other cool places to eat in this area too, including this soup place that Danny ordered a lentil soup at, which was a very casual seated dining, but what was really cool was on each table they leave these additional spices that you can add to the soup, so like cumin and different green herbs. There was this big box of croutons too, and they had a menu of around 50 soups, which was really impressive. All in all, Istanbul did not disappoint when it came to food. It's definitely a foodie city. We ate so much succulent meat and fish. The bread culture is amazing, so if you love bread, you'd be in heaven here. And of course, we can't not mention our one true love, baklava. This syrupy delicacy just hits different out there, and it was so cool to see so many different varieties in the ridiculous amount of baklava shops that there were. If you enjoyed this food vlog about what we ate in Istanbul, let us know in the comments and leave a like. This lets us know the type of videos you like from us, and we can continue exploring beautiful countries with food culture at the top of our list. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again for more of what's next with Maya and Danny.